still left to be told. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen yet. But we did get some big news yesterday from the Memphis Grizzlies. We talked about it yesterday with Brevin. Mike and I talked about our weekly update. We had to make some quick changes. We got an injury update when it comes to Dillon Brooks. We thought we were going to get a chance to see Dillon Brooks with these last 2 preseason games. However, the PR team reported that Dillon Brooks is going to have to get reevaluated. They want to be safe and, just be so sure about that fracture in his left hand, and he's going to be reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks. And so that means some extra treatment. I wish we were going to get a chance to see him out there, but the way this team has been playing, I guess it gives me some high hopes.
Yeah, it's bad news, but mixed with an okay-ish feeling because you've seen this team operate without him during the preseason thus far. And even though it's just the preseason and certainly teams aren't throwing out everything that they have necessarily night in and night out, the Grizzlies have looked really good. We've been talking so much about how the depth of this team has shined, and we haven't seen Dillon Brooks. So you're already in a situation where you've seen Desmond Bane obviously trying to fight for a role of his own in the starting lineup, and D'Anthony Melton. And that competition, it goes back to the either or. Now you might be lucky in that you have both of them, and they have been able to seamlessly fit with the starters so far. So you're fortunate in that it's not like, okay, who are we going to scrounge up and throw in there without Dillon for the next couple of weeks? But at the same time, Dillon Brooks is a massive part of this team, and in terms of the long-term goals for what they want to do on the court, we haven't had a chance to see him, and that's tough.
The good thing, the bright spot, is because we've told you guys in training camp, we've heard from Dillon that he feels as if his hand is 90%, and he feels good. We know that he has practiced with this team. We see him warming up at shoot-around. I think those are the positives. Obviously you want Dillon Brooks because of what he brings to this group, but to be extra careful when you have 82 games that you have to get through and to get to. So to say that you're going to be reevaluated 2 to 3 weeks, and I know there's a lot of big games, especially with that road trip in LA, and then you got Portland as well in that first week, and to not have them, it's going to be big and pivotal. But I'd rather have to be cautious now than something happen in the middle of the season when we're at game 10, game 15, and you're thinking to yourself, oh goodness, should we have rushed him out there? But it is a bright spot because if you come out here early to the games, you see him out there on the court, you see him in the huddle, you see him with the group and the team. He's very vocal. So we'll see him soon. Just it'll be later rather than sooner. It's fine.
And at least in the meantime, when you have someone like D'Anthony Melton, you get that defense. We know Dillon Brooks is the defensive anchor of this team. It's no shock there. But D'Anthony Melton has been so good defensively, and his shot has improved as well. You're getting that shooting from both D'Anthony Melton and Desmond Bane, and so that role can be filled. We'll just look forward to seeing Dillon Brooks out on the court eventually at some point in time. It's always a bummer when you get some injury news in the preseason. That's the last thing that you want, especially because he hasn't played. So
that's very true. Fingers crossed. But in the meantime, you do have a lot to watch tonight. You still have a lot to watch. Grizzlies are taking on the Indiana Pacers tonight. That is the second to last preseason game. Another opportunity to see a lot of these guys out here. A lot of these guys get some more minutes. And without Dillon, to hopefully Coach Jenkins can kind of tinker with different lineups and try to figure out some last minute things before you get into the regular season next week. And then you do have Memphis Madness. So, a lot of things to watch out for.
Yeah, I would hope that when it comes to the Grizzlies, and I don't know, because at this point, John Morant keeps going back in the game when I am sure that he absolutely cannot play any more preseason minutes, but we know he wants to be out there. You would think that perhaps tonight, run with the starters a little bit more, get things situated, and then perhaps Friday can be no starters tonight. Just kidding. Our RSI, Robbie Weaver, says no starters tonight. I missed the injury report.
But once again, it's a good opportunity to see these other guys. You want to see more Brandon Clark. You want to see more Jarrett Culver. You want to see Santi Aldama has been exciting to watch these last 2 games, and I would love to see more of him. And so it's still a game that you definitely want to watch because when it comes to trying to figure out what that 10-man group is going to look like and what those last couple roster spots will go to, this is a moment for Coach Jenkins to get those data points.
I don't know who is playing tonight, but I think I could maybe run down if Drake is performing at Memphis Madness tonight. I think I could possibly run down and scurry in because I'm not sure any Grizzlies will be on the court. Obviously, there's going to be someone, but the injury report is out. Steven Adams, Kyle Anderson, Desmond Bain, Dillon Brooks, Chris Dunn, Jaren Jackson Jr., Tyus Jones, DeAnthony Melton, Sean McDermott, John Morant, and then questionable Killian Tilly and Zaire Williams.
Who the hell do they have left?
They have a lot of
They're gonna
guys
play
left.
like
Santi
six.
Aldama, Jarrett Culver,
You have Brandon Clark,
Clark, Xavier Tillman.
Jarrett Culver.
I said him.
We'll count them again. 5.
Sam Merrill.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Chris Dunn's still out. What is this dental procedure?
What is this? A dental procedure? Romeo Weems.
I really was,
Kiana
I was
DePaul?
really excited to see more of Chris Dunn. I really was.
Well,
Your dad is a
that's
dentist,
just-
Megan. How do you
I
not
know.
know what dental procedure
Trust me,
it
that's
is?
why I said, what is this? I mean, unless like you got like an implant or something.
Oh, Yves Pons for all of our friends in the chat. The Yves Pons hive that is currently a part of the Rise and Grind family. So obviously there will still be players out on the court, but it will be an interesting look at the Grizzlies in Indiana tonight. And maybe you too can put up 2 screens or 3 screens and have the WNBA Finals, Memphis Madness, and the Grizzlies.
Yeah, just if someone give me an alert, if an alert can come
know.
in where it's like when you get to the performance, performance part. I mean, I want to see everything else, but like for Memphis Madness, it's for me. You know, I think it's a great thing for like students and fans to come out and to have a whole bunch of fun and get introduced to these guys. A lot of this roster we already know, but it's still a lot of hype around it, and it's going to be a party. Just someone send me like a text like, okay, performers are about to be announced, or whoever it's going to be.
There's 6 to 7 was the report. So there's a lot. I'm happy that they're streaming it because I thought originally there had been some questions on if they could get it done, and I was like, oh, that means someone big is there.
I saw someone tweet that was on ESPN Plus.
Okay, sweet.
I didn't
Can't wait.
like verify that, but I just saw a tweet.
That's okay.
So
We'll
I'm going to go off of it and go with it.
That's how we all operate at this point. I saw it
Pretty
on
much.
Twitter. I saw it on TikTok. It's gonna
Pretty
be a
much.
thing.
We did let's get to some off the grind news because we did. Are we going to break?
No, let's just keep going.
Okay, let's
break
get to some
before
off the grind
D'Angelo.
news and get to some NBA stuff because we did have a lot go